Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report for the past 24 hours. Currently it's the 10th of October. This is the current situation, the latest as of what I have. And yeah, I saw more people complaining about my English. So for today, I'm gonna speak with an accent, and maybe you can answer me better. So we're gonna there is quite a number of frontline changes, quite a number of important changes over the past 24 hours. There is frontline changes over Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, Kotelivka, Serbianskie Forestry, Vykomokanyamskie, Rajhorivka, Toretsk, Seldove, Voleda, and Zolotaneva. So we're going to start off with the situation in the Kupyansk front. And at the Kupyansk front, we have major frontline changes. This dong-looking thing have now dropped down south from Sinkivka. And this geolocation of Russian forces just off Petropavlivka, or basically perhaps inside of Petropavlivka, because the geolocation is basically inside of the northern part of Petropavlivka. This is a shocking news, and we not sure exactly how big is the extent of the Russian expanse in the front line around here. Perhaps they have taken everything west of this position, or even everything east of this position. We do not know. So we just gonna have to map it in a slightly more conservative way over this area here. Ukrainian forces have been just shelled nearby, so the Russian front line definitely is not really far off. So this geolocation is Russian forces, assault groups under fire by the Ukrainian forces. So this is the situation over in the Kupyansk region, just south of Sinkivka. There's frontline changes around the Baivka region. This information has first been this area here has been first reported during the situation report, where the Russian forces have taken positions northwest of Tbaivka, which is just a Russian claim. The Ukrainians do not acknowledge these changes, and there is geolocation of Russian forces getting hit by FPV drone along the highway. This is one of the latest information in the southwest of Kotlярivka. So these are the frontline changes around here, and hopefully you enjoy my accent right now. So I'm gonna go back to my old accent, and yeah. So maybe you will find that the way I talk normally might be better. And so we jump to the next frontline change is over at Serbianskie Forestry. And this is part of this frontline change that affected the Rajhorivka region, where Russian forces have allegedly made advance around here. Information is coming from Syriac maps. So this one, we don't really know how to really look at it, because it's within the thick forest. The rivers are there. Technically, not very, very relevant. So anyway, we shall see how this goes. Further south, as we started to put in Syriac maps into our sources again as a primary source to kind of control or add in more additional mappings that we can, if there is any, so that we can try to bridge the gap between the reporting and the mapping. According to Syriac maps, they map the Russian advance around the Vykomokanyamskie region as such. Before that, they did also map it like this. Syriac maps did map it as per how DPA has mapped it, assuming that Vykomokanyamskie was captured. But Syriac maps later invalidated that himself and changed the front line to something like this. So the Russian forces have made a wide advance along the entire front line along the eastern part of Vykomokanyamskie. And I think that, yeah, this could make a lot of sense, and this also helps to cover some of the reported frontline change around the Spurny Ivano-Darivka region that is lacking in terms of mapping, which was reported by the pro-Russian sources, but there was no mapping really to reflect the change. So this actually helps. So this the frontline change around here. Of course, this chunk is pretty huge. It's 10.8 square kilometers. So we shall see how this goes. Top to bottom is around 7 kilometers, over 7 kilometers long. So these big frontline changes. After this area here, the next frontline change is over at Rajhorivka. So there's a small frontline change Russian forces geolocated at the trench line, confirming Russian slight advance around Kharkovivka. First reported this during the situation report. And after this, the next front line change is at Toretsk. So we jump to the New York front. So just now we were here at Kharkovivka. So now we are at the New York front. So at the Toretsk region, there is major update in terms of the mapping around here. According to Surya maps, Russian forces have advanced. So I put this as a possible Russian advance because Surya maps also not the arbiter of truth, you see. So this will be mapped and updated on the Russian mapping that the Russian forces possibly taking this central park around here just off the stadium and a lot of all this low-rise residential area. So this is a huge amount of grounds captured. Again, this is like how much this? Yeah, this is around less than a kilometer square. Not as big as the other one. So, but this is a big tactical change in this region here, and Surya Maps is the only one that map it to this level. It's not even not even the other source, what is it called, DivGen, that mapped it this far away. So we will definitely have to take note and see whether we can corroborate this frontline change that is mapped by Surya Maps. So tentatively, there is in this area here, just in case you do not know, this area here is inside the Ukrainian mapping right now, and this is a possible encirclement with the Russian forces pincering and closing the encirclement. This possibly exists, possibly. So I just want to highlight this. This is not a frontline change. This was yesterday's frontline change, and after this area, the next frontline change is over at Selidove. So over at Selidove region in the south of Selidove, Russian forces has been geolocated along the railway line, expanding the Russian control in the south of Selidove as the Russians continue to push west, and possibly they will want to go up the railway, or maybe even storm to the main road leading to Selidove to cut off resupplies and reinforcement. That is also a possibility. So the Russians are pushing, and this road leads all the way down to Kurakove and Andreevka. So this leads to the rear position of Kurakove. I mean, it is an attractive target. At least you cut off another reinforcement and resupply route towards Selidove, would help in the siege of Selidove. And the last two frontline change. So the next is at Voleda. So at Voleda, there is a slight increase of frontline change. This is based on the mapping from Surya Maps, I believe. Yes, Surya mapped this slightly differently. So this is based on will be mapped as a Russian claim in this area here. Not very important. This is just a small change in this area. And the last one is over at Zolota Neva. So I mentioned this during the situation report that the Ukrainians do not acknowledge the capture of Zolota Neva. So this entire area here of Zolota Neva would still be under Ukrainian control based on Ukrainian claims, and they don't acknowledge the full capture of Zolota Neva. And we will definitely just wait for more information to corroborate the capture of Zolota Neva. So far, Zolota Neva has been declared as captured by both pro-Russian sources and the Russian Defense Ministry. On the Ukrainian side, there's no such declaration just yet. So anyway, these are the frontline changes report. The significant one, of course, is the one at Kupyansk front over the Sinkivka region. This push south from Sinkivka. This is the most extraordinary one, and this will start to explain the fighting reported at Kocherivka and Petropavlivka, and which means that the Russians is also going to go next to Kupyansk very, very soon. Anyway, that's it. So thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Let me know about the accent. I hope you don't want me to speak in the Caucasian accent, because it's so irritating. Thanks so much. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.